Hey yo, what is up guys, it's your boy Twa here, and this will be a video going into, well, new things that will be coming out into February and some other information that may pique your interest, so hear me out on this one. So first off, we are getting a new character called Taylor. Now this is what she looks like. So she's a small girl with two corgis and a big ass hammer. A what? And supposedly she's a physical tank. Now if she's gonna be PvP, like something that I want, since she has a big hammer, a pushback, that would be great. Maybe switch around people if possible, and have these corgis bite people's ankles, like something like that. So that is gonna be quite fire. And there's gonna be a big change to Guild Conquest. Now with the addition of having soul weapons, like Guild Conquest became ridiculously easy. Like if you look at the scores that the Japanese and the Korean people were making, it was absolutely insane. 2-ticket Velkazars on 2 people, just killing it. Solo Tirfa, solo Lacrels, I've seen them all. It's just crazy. So what did they do to do that? So the kill bonus is increased 10 times for this one and this one. So Lacrel and Tirfas both get like extra rewards for killing it, and they doubled their HPs. Now I think with Cecilia or big ass Celine, like you'll still be able to one ticket at Lacrel, but it will become harder though, because they kind of changed here and there on how it works. So upon the avalanche skill, the amount of time Tirfas needs to receive damage is reduced. So that basically says that whenever you stomp in the ground, you need him to hit Tirfas X amount of times to start doing the damaging phase, and they lowered that by, well, 10 and 20 hits, which could be pretty significant. But then again, after avalanche use, the damage taken while being knocked down is reduced. So that means that even if you knock him down, you do less damage, which is I'm not quite sure how well that will fare, but with the double HP and everything else, like having a 2-ticket should still be possible, I guess, but we'll have to see about that. The amount of damage received in the early stages of the battle is decreased. As the battle will progress in time, overall damage will increase. So the damage will exponentially rise the longer that you can do it. So let's see if the same thing is for Lacrel. Yes, amount of damage received early stages is decreased, and the longer it prolongs, the more damage you will do. So in this case, having good healers or good sustainability or a lot of P dodge on Lacrel has huge benefit. Deadly boomerang damage is reduced. Well, I'm not quite sure how much that will do, because you're either dodging or dying basically. So yeah, at least at the later part of the stage. So that will be quite interesting. So we'll have to see how much damage we will do and how much is necessary to either 1-ticket or 2-ticket it. So that's quite interesting. Now Velkazar, I'm not quite sure what they are going to do. Oh wow, they went from like 16, what is this, trillion, billion, gazillion to 50. So that is almost triple the HP. That's pretty good. I like it. No, 2.5 actually. Each time the Executioner cast is summoned, the amount of health is increased, will decrease. Okay, so you're able to kill them easier? I'm not quite sure. After the Executioner cast has been destroyed, Velkazar disabled duration is reduced by 1 second. Okay. So that means that you will do a lot less damage, because the damaging phase is actually after you destroy the casket. And if that is reduced by 1 second, I'm not quite sure how much it is, like 5 to 6 seconds maybe. If that is reduced, then you will have around about 10 to 20% damage decrease, which is quite insane, especially for characters like Esker that needs that roundup. So I'm not quite sure how much this will hit it. But the same thing as it says on the other bosses, the later the stage prolongs, the bigger the damage is, and physical damage to bosses is slightly increased. So Zephyr and Urzi will have quite an amazing benefit in here. So this should be pretty easy to do. Now the growth content dungeon, I'll just do a too long didn't read part. nowadays you have all these things that you can do. You go to the portal, you go to your conquest, you go to your upper dungeons, you go to over here, you go to your ancient royal vaults. Now what they will do is they will add a single instance where you can do all of them. So one of these interesting things that I failed to see earlier on is this picture. So every single one of these fragment dungeons have just 2 entries. That means that you don't have to do half an hour of whatever. Oh, there's another game. Half an hour of this and just be able to do that super fast. So supposedly there will be 6 levels of difficulties within the next level, blah blah blah. So if you clear the first one, you get a new one. Great. So with these keys, you may be able to do a lot. But with the Nikki blessing, I am not quite sure how much of this it is going to change. But I'm quite curious nonetheless, so hopefully it will make at least everything easier. Let's hope, because I've seen this before where they did not really min-max their EXP potions back in the days where they changed the conquest from 5 tickets to 3. They did not give the equal amount of EXP potions, so let's hope they do the math this time, and let's see if they are gonna make this work. We get more costumes. We get Frey Cleo Maria. She hasn't received a outfit in ages, and I gotta say this one actually looks quite fire. Theo gets a new one, Glenwiz gets a new one. Now with Glenwiz getting a League of Honor skin, I was like, why would you give Glenwiz another one, right? It just doesn't make any sense. But yo, this one is quite fire. I love it. The same for Theo's. It looks insane. It looks quite comparable to the wedding one, but yeah, in all cases looking pretty good. So that is it for the changes that will be coming up in February, but we got more. So let's go over to the Orville's Foundation Day celebration event, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is on, let's say, the 3rd year anniversary, and these things are quite fire because right now onto the 26th, which is next week, we will be able to get a soul stone ticket by clearing daily missions. That is amazing, because normally it would take you about, like, if you are fast, right, if you got Sky 7 or like Trials 7 or 8, you can get them within 3 to 4 weeks. But having this for a newer player, absolutely insane, and it's gonna work for my Celine as well. Now there's another thing that will be coming out on the 10th of March, which is roughly 2 weeks after, a little bit more. We will be able to get unique treasure fragments, artifact pieces, reforged tickets, reforged coupon. I'm not sure what a reforged coupon is gonna be, but I'm assuming this is a reforged tickets and a transcendence perk. Okay, so basically if you look at it like this is a total overall thing that you can get. Great. But you can get this many, like at least one unique treasure, and if you play every single day, which is 14 days, you can get another one, which is great. So you can get 2 unique treasures from this whole thing, and I know where those are going for me. Guess what? There's more login bonus that everybody is getting. Now for the people that are starting out new, this one is absolutely insane. If you want to speed run, this is also absolutely insane. Now if you look at it, you can get a 5-star ticket up to Rahartna. So no Kybera, unfortunately, but up to Rahartna you get 2,000 rubies. So if you do want to buy them, that's still good. Stamina potions, now you can never get enough of those, even as a new player. We get a costume ticket, don't really care about that, but whatever. Mystical soul fragments, yeah, you can play with Kane's balls again. Woo! 1-star unique weapon ticket. Now this is fire. This is absolutely fire. So if you're starting out as a new player, this stuff is great. And you get a random soulstone ticket. Now I've been lucky with my soul stones, but I got 2 Veronicas while I blasted my Veronica 1-star unique weapon because I was like, I'm not gonna use it ever. Maximum regret, yes. So that is it for these events that will be coming out for the 3rd year anniversary. Now, I look forward to this, but there's more. We got a survey that has been done, I think, about 2 to 3 months earlier, and it was about certain things that, well, people would or would not like, and there's a few interesting things that came out of this. So we are very happy about the illustrations, the graphics, the main story, and honestly, I don't care about this poll, honestly. Most dissatisfied content. Now, this is where it becomes interesting, because it says a trial of the God King. Now, honestly, I really do enjoy this one because it allows me to have a goal in this game. Really does allow me to have a goal. But there's like differences in this because it is very targeted toward very specific units that are able to do this. If you don't have these units, you are... So then you have a League of Honor and Eclipse League of Victory. So everything PvP related and the newer content, which is crazy. So they said something along the lines like, we introduced the soul weapon content with confidence, but the survey result indicate that we have not yet to meet the player's needs. There's a few things that will be addressed in the latter part. So if we are gonna look at this, the 1000 days anniversary satisfaction was good. Yes, we got so many rewards. That was absolutely fire. Now, fun fact is the soul weapon satisfaction is a neutral to worst. Now, this is where it becomes interesting because number 1 on the poll, the difficulty to obtain the preferred soulstone. Yes. Now, if I have to elaborate on this, and I hope they will make a change on this, and hopefully they will. If you are looking for one of the soul stones that you want to get and you want to grind this, you get only 100 class soul stones. That equals to 1 trial of Earth Sky 8, which is the highest one. So you need 10 of these to get a soul weapon that you want, which is ridiculous. And I'm gonna tell you why this is a huge game changer for the whales in comparison to free-to-play players. So that's one. The difficulty to obtain the materials, gold ether for enhancing a soul weapon. Now this is ridiculous, right? And I'm gonna summarize these two up. Let's look, for instance, at my Celine. Now my Celine is starting out gorgeous and she is doing really fine. And well, she got herself a 5-star unique weapon, and you would say you're done. No. With the soul weapon patch, you need to have a 2 at some point for her to do whatever the top players are doing. But not only do you need her A2, you need her A2 at least plus 18. But my plus 18 is still not enough for the things that I wanted to do, and that is Eclipse. So if you look at managing soul weapons and we look at what we need, guess what? Just a 30 of these is really hard to get, and you only get 1/3 or not even of this. Now, if you look at how many I can get a week, here we got Eclipse. My best wave is 37, which is 13 gold ethers. Guess what? I need around about 10 weeks to get one chance of 22%, not even the last one, which is 20% chance. So acquiring this is super ridiculous, right? Or you just pay and you can get them straight away, because if you look at the Japanese server, they're filled with A2 plus 20. So that is where the biggest difference comes in, because right now, and this is something that I really do not like, I really do not like this. Because if you look into Arena, and if you look at the recent change with Nyla, suddenly top 10, even on my server, is filled with Nylas. Oh, there we go, we got a Nyla. Oh, we're actually having people that are playing something else right now. Oh, we got a Nyla. Oh, we got a Nyla. Oh, we got a Nyla. And guess what? These Nylas are not even 5-star, most of them. And most of them are not even advanced, or not even advanced plus 2. Now, if you would compare this to League of Honor, where she was supposed to be a character that could CC. No, this girl is actually one-shotting full team. So if you look at the Challenger League, for instance. Now, let's see if we can find some Nylas. We have none actually at the first part, but that doesn't mean that they are picked. They could either be banned as well. So where did Nyla go? Because I looked at this like a few days back. Oh, there we got the first Nyla. I'm assuming she gets banned by... Oh, guess what? We got so many Nylas all in one go. Because guess what? People are playing the living shit out of her. Now, my point being is, if they are making a change to any one of these characters, and you want to adapt to what we call the meta, right? Okay, if I just get myself a 3-star unique weapon, which would innately take me about a month, maybe 2 if I'm unlucky. Okay, then that character is still trash. That means right now with the current patches, free-to-play players are not able to adapt ever to any meta change, onto any update, which means the investments that you make as a free-to-play player is substantially, arguably worse, because you cannot adapt to any meta. And this is something that I find as well as a veteran player that also do spend. So I do not like the way that the soul weapons are currently set up. So if I had to make a suggestion, make it so that grinding gives you an exact amount of unique weapon. Raise it up to 250 and then raise it up to a point where you can get a round out item that you can use for every character. That means if you get assassin, guess what? Great, you can grind it and make yourself something else. Now this will be very good for everything as well, because then you don't have to invest into all 3 of the trials to make all of your characters. Now you can invest into one trial, get an item that you don't want, grind it, and then move on. Now it still makes sense to then invest into all of the others, meaning that if I have I'm at 8, I do have that one. Now if I get lucky and get all these sorts of items, I would be grinding them for, let's say, Trial of Flow. Now the reward would be 1/4 of it, because 250 of the shards is definitely different than having the luxury of actually getting a soul weapon by random chance. So there's some min-maxing over there, but hopefully they will change that up. And what they should definitely do is increase the gold part of this, because trying to upgrade your soul weapons with the amount of souls that you have is ridiculously hard. So that is just it's just I don't like it. So then we got one thing as well, and that is Eclipse Difficulty. Now Eclipse is heavily, and I mean heavily, favored toward ranged characters. If you have a physical character that cannot jump to the back of a boss, you die 100%. There's nothing that you can do about it. So that favoring is just, I don't like it. It's really up to a point where people that get up to plus 40 get like the biggest rewards, and it is unattainable, except if you have characters like Ophelia, Artemia, Zephyr, which are all AoE, all are ranged, and I can think of a few more. Esker is also one of them, where you can get like to like floor 40 easy, but then after, guess what? You still die because you don't have the bossing damage. So the way that it is set up doesn't allow for how I viewed the content whenever they started this out, because they said, oh, you need to grab all of your characters together, min-max them, and get them up there. Guess what? If you have about 12 characters that are all set up average, and you're still gonna get whacked at like wave 30, which is 5 gold ethers. Meaning that, guess what? That A2 plus 20 onto the PvP skill, you're never gonna get it. So they really need to change that. They really need to change the way that works. Like maybe triple the HP, get rid of the like healing reduction factor. That means that healers will become way more viable there. it will become so much more interesting to that. Like, that healing reduction is the thing that is whacking my chase down. I'm salty about that, but in all cases, it makes a lot of characters so useless. Healers will become useless in 5 rounds. So that is something that they really have to work around. Now, the top favorite characters, oh, we got at least my boy Chase somewhere up there. We got, I'm not even sure what the ZH is, but we got Chase up there, the main man. But a lot of people are liking Cecilia, and I do like her as well as Theo. I'm not sure why Artemia is all the way out there. I am not sure, but whatever. So, guess what? Improvement suggestions. Now, this is interesting, because I've been ranting about Eclipse and everything, but there's more. With the recent Nightlight changes, I think they need to adjust her a little bit more to the back, because allowing her to one-shot like full teams with no real reason, I'm like, okay, yeah, what actually counters her? Because guess what? If you have a burst character, she can jump to you, knock you down, and doesn't allow you to do shit. If you have a tanky character or like a full wall team, then guess what? She will burst that down, because you can still CC her or CC with her with 500 CC reduction, which is crazy. And the fact that, oh yeah, she ignores toughness. Great, so your tanks will die. So it is just insane. It is just insane what they did to Nyla. I hope they revert part of the changes back, but we'll never know. Now, they say hero balance adjustments, game crashing, error fixes. Now, honestly, I don't have that much or many issues with that, because I'm playing on a emulator. So maybe on phones it is definitely nasty. But here's a fun thing: increase login bonus event rewards, such as the amount of currencies earned within a game. Now, honestly, something that I would like them to add is they need to revamp most of these. Like, this is fun in games, but if you're a veteran player, these fragments of infinity and all these things are quite outdated. XP boosters, these things, magic powder boxes, they're not good, right? They're not used for a veteran player. What if they add gold ethers to that? Maybe just 10. Maybe just 10. Then people will PvP a little bit more. Same goes for the guild raid shop. Now, currently with the guild raids, you have limited amount of options. Like, within a week, normally within 3 days, we don't have this content anymore on the top EU server. Because guess what? You cannot reset it more than that. And you still want to waste your tickets for that little bit amount of extra cash, right? As well as all of these other things that you are getting. Now, the guild shop needs an overhaul, because the only thing that are which I would feel useful to buy are the reforce tickets and the unique treasure ticket. And the stamina potions, obviously. But you could find so many more items that are useful right now. And, well, one of them being gold ethers. So that way it doesn't only come from Eclipse, but the majority of the people would be able to buy these things as well. So that would be pretty interesting for them to change that. As well as, obviously, the login rewards. Okay, more stories at a faster pace. Like, I'm one of those guys that will click through it. So that's not something that I would, like... But here's the thing, this last one is pretty interesting to me. New PvE content that involves competition, and I will show you one thing that is comparable, and that is the reason, or actually not really, one of the reasons why I popped at this game. This is called Soul Land Awaken Warsoul. And what they have, they open up new servers like every other week, which is very beneficial to them, because a lot of people are spending. Reason why: you can get yourself surpassing rewards. So meaning you are ranking against other people, you're speed running against other people. And guess what? If you look at these days, you get sickeningly good items. Now, if they would implement this, then it would be super interesting for newer players to start out, but also to make newer servers. Now, I don't think they would implement it somewhere along the lines of this, but it is one of those ways where they could tweak that and try to implement that within King's Raid. So I'm quite curious if that is a possibility and if it is something that they would do. Now feedback, blah blah blah. Okay, very good. And for the last one, they are holding an event right now where you have to decorate a dessert and allow yourself to get a unique weapon ticket, dessert ticket, some rubies for the #1 headband, and some gold and some cane balls, some testicles, some whatever, if you do not receive the #1 headband. So if you guys want to see that, check out their Facebook. It is over here. Check out the plug. You can get it over there. If you guys have any comments about the things that I just shared, please put it down into the comments. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. But for now, this is Twe.